If they want to create a new fracture, a new split, he would take me into the bathtub. They had a big walk-in bathtub, like big tile, like deep. And he would drown me, hold me down there as I was drowning. And as I was fading and splitting and losing consciousness and beginning to convulse and drown, he would bring me out of it. And he would clear my airway and he would resuscitate me. And when I would come to consciousness, I didn't have any memory of the past. That was a new split, a blank slate is what it's called. That blank slate now is a new personality, and I'm actually bonded to that man as my savior. He saved my life. He rescued me. I love him. I'll do anything for him. And you're in a fugue state, a dissociative state. You're very much impressionable. That's how a personality can get created. It's not always to that extreme. Once a lot of this patterning happens, it can be done with substances. It can be done with shocks and scares and frights. This is why a lot of the haunted houses and these kinds of things are used. Why the amusement and entertainment industry are what they are is because they're literally utilized by handlers to trauma and program different new assets. And so that personality that's now bonded to him as the master now can do his bidding. And anytime he wants to bring that personality up, he could take me into the bathroom and show me the tub. That can be it. So, or somebody can come along when I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona, 150 miles away, and show me a picture of that tub and call the name of that personality out. Or it can be a specific ring that somebody wears that during the programming session, they hold up the ring and teach you about this and give your name, your identity is bound to that. So when that ring is manifested, or a necklace or a piece of jewelry or a specific color and pattern of a shirt and ensemble is brought forth, that's when the personality is brought forward. Or you'll see checkerboard floors are used because it's that duality of those two parts. That's why it'll be in the entrance of people's homes to trigger those personalities as they go in. This is why you'll see it in elite circles or in specific types of temples and ritual chambers, because they're bringing forth these other personalities, and with them, the spirits that accompany it. When you drown somebody, you kill them. These spirits are coming and going during these interactions. These spirits they're spiritually transmitted diseases that are being passed forth, and that's what gives a groundwork and a framework that reinforces this substantiation going forward.
Got it. Was it an immediate switch, or was there a transition? Did you ever find yourself fighting the transition? Do you not have the power to fight it? Like how quickly does that happen?
I mean, there's a variance over the course of your life, because there's times when you do fight it. There's times when you fight, and especially in the teenage years, puberty, it starts to change you, and depending on, yes, in the beginning though, there's not a lot of fighting. In the beginning, there is just complete control, and there's very little variance with it. There's such a strict lockdown that there's not a lot of fighting or resisting in that sense. But over the course of time, as you grow up, you begin to resist switches, or you begin to resist. Somebody in you starts screaming when they see somebody about something that you don't understand, and it's not like some crazy voice per se, but you're feeling this overwhelming hatred of this person as they're coming towards you, and you don't want whatever's about to happen. You don't want to go, you don't want to switch, and that resistance can be very formidable and can shut down the whole thing, so that whatever they were wanting to do, it doesn't happen, and they don't get that personality. Like even to this day, man, people still from my past will come, and if I'm at a conference or an event that I'm speaking at, and they'll try pressure contacts and names in my ears. My wife's witnessed this, other people, they still try to activate me. They still try to bring me back in. They don't give up on a expensive asset, you know what I mean? And they still go after it. And I've had the power given to me to discern that time and again. This is why I really believe freedom for dissociative identity disorder program multiples has to come. You can get a lot of healing without Jesus in many areas of your life, but for you to regain sovereignty of your system, I believe it comes through the expulsion of these other spirits. And that's not going to come through Buddha. That's not going to come through Talmudic practices. This is not going to come through the traditions of men. It's going to come from a power encounter with the King of Glory. And that's what's necessary to give you freedom, so that you don't have to partake in that, so that they can't take you back into the cult. That's not to say that there haven't been times where that did happen, even after I had a relationship with Jesus, even after I was married. Like, it didn't stop for me. People ruled me like a slave many decades of my life. It didn't just end because I got married, which was shamefully embarrassing stuff to have to wrestle with later on. But at the end of the day, I've got to see that there is steadfastness of hope if we continue to put our trust in him, that he can have sovereignty over that. But I called it the fade, where you're going from one personality to another, and sometimes that's an immediate action, but other times there's a deep, a slow release between those two, and there can be a lot of bleed over. And with that, like a core personality can have lots of other personalities within that system. And so when there's a big switchover between like a primary personality to a secondary one, they bring with them all those other personalities. And that's when there can be major conflict, memories, bleed overs, and it can be very, very messy. And so for people that aren't really adept programmers and handlers, when that kind of stuff happens, because you can be doing a honeypot operation and somebody walks in not intentionally wearing that shirt that you've been programmed with, and now you've got this other personality coming up that's talking like a little child and acting all innocent and scared, and it throws everything off. So it's not lockstep. It's messy. It's messy a lot of the time, and that's why this is such it's a fragile system, but that is reinforced with spiritual powers to try to keep it going.